Okay, so this, I'm gonna first show the distance. Here's the whole entire hole, right? I'll go over all the dimensions of the hole in a second. It's basically drywall all the way on the edges, as you see, subframed with wood. So the drywall is clean edge, it just needs a little lip going on the sides, the top, and the sides to go over and hide this little ugly edge here. So here, so that's the same on the sides. Now, the total height from the top of the drywall there, and that subframe, as you can see, that wood is pretty much level with the edge of the drywall. That is 50. Let me look here and make sure I'm saying this right. 58 from the top up there down to the bottom here. 58 down to there. 58 in 3/8. As you can see, this piece of wall here, I'll go out and get a zoom in, is 1.5 deep. There's the whole thing. So it's 58 3/8 tall. It is 31 7/8 wide. That's from this very edge here. I measured from this piece of wood here, 31 7/8 to there. So there you got that labeled 31 7/8. And that the tricky part is that this subframing here is not flush with the edge. As you can see, it's 1.5 inches, you know, thick 2x4. Now the height, as you asked, from the floor to the top. So I'm holding that down there, and I'm trying to keep it level with my foot as I film here. So that's nice and level, not moving. We're looking at, you know, it's a little bit of an angle here, right, to get around, but I'm gonna say, gosh, I don't know how to actually measure this for sure, but I'm gonna say, like, if it was straight down, I'm gonna say 31 1/4. 31 1/4, because, you know, 31 is not quite long enough. Maybe there'd be a little bit of a slant. God, I don't know. How would I measure this? Like, because I can't go down because the baseboard gets in the way. So anyway, so I'm gonna say, right, you know, maybe to level, if there's some adjustability to the edge of the fold down table, the legs, outside legs, that might be great. But, oh, damn it. Overall, here's again, the width is 31 7/8. The height is 58 3/8. The depth, you know, again, is from measured here. Measured here. You can see there. That's to the outside of the drywall. You got 2.5. That's on one side, 2.5. Right, and on the same thing on the other side. You know, same thing. Gosh, that looks like a little less. To the outside of the drywall. To the outside of the drywall. I'd say that's also 2, golly. Is that 2? That's a little less. To the outside of the drywall, that's actually like 2 3/8. You know, 2 3/8 right there. Anyway, so I think the whole depth of the thing could be maybe, you know, I don't want it to have a gap, so maybe 2 3/8 deep, and then I could use a spacer here to fill in the gap, or maybe screw or glue it so it just flush to this all that back walling, and yeah, it just fits in. So we got basically a box that covers that surface with sides, you know, a top, and a little bit of a lip that comes around this, like maybe half inch, you know, around here. And on the top there to go around that, just a little lip, maybe half inch. And then the bottom here, the bottom edge, I'd like it to have a lip that comes around. And I'd like to see if we could have this edge come out like a little half circle, you know, maybe coming out from a total from the wall, you know, maybe from the very back to the front, maybe maybe 6 inches. Not too far, 6 inches would be great. All right, those are my ideas. These, if you want to know, yeah, the thing would be glued to the back of all the wood that you see here, up here. All these are the same thickness, all these boards here, and they're glued to the concrete. So there's a kind of enough surface area to attach the back of the thing to this, and this piece all across here. So that's, and the distance I'm measuring from, you know, that back piece to the outside of the drywall, as you can see, tends to run about 2 and, you know, I don't know, 2, that one's, I'd call that 2 3/8, right? And so it makes the whole thing maybe depth-wise 2 3/8 with 2 3/8 with a little lip that would come around this by maybe, you know, maybe an inch, ½ inch, you know, maybe probably ½ inch or a little ½ inch lip would be enough to make sure it covers, maybe a little more. All right, Greg, I hope this is helpful. Please let me know if I didn't cover anything.